Nice cameo.
So the Lynda Carter
Yes, yep.
post-credit scene, right? Yes.
Yeah, that was that.
Okay, video's back on.
She's from the original Wonder Woman, right? Was it?
Yeah. So she was the Wonder Woman in the TV show.
70s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as Asteria, so this is her back in the 70s.
Wow. Okay.
Wonder Woman.
That's what she looks like. Yeah.
Asteria is interesting though, because it's I mean the very new character.
They're fairly new. Fairly in
Yeah.
the more recent comics, so it hasn't been around for too long.
So, but we did see her in that flashback when they were describing the golden armor, and she was wearing the armor.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Titan goddess. The name Asteria approximately translates to "of the stars." So yeah, so I mean that's kind of exciting because potentially she may team up with Gal Gadot for a potential next movie.
In the future.
Maybe in the next Wonder Woman or Justice League movie, maybe.
Yeah, so there's a possibility that Asteria could join her.
Oh.
So who knows? So that's.
Oh, she was in Supergirl too, so she's actually still acting.
Yeah, so if you've seen the Supergirl series, she plays this president.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
So that's one surprise.
Yeah.
But overall, how did you find it? I guess Steph, first time watching this.
Yeah, first time. You guys have all watched it already, right? Previously.
Yes.
Okay, in the movies.
Second time.
Yeah, it was long. I thought
it was pretty long. Yeah, I thought, oh, this is a pretty long movie.
I thought it could have been edited down to 2 hours. To be honest.
Yeah.
It was actually quite slow going in the first hour.
Yeah, there wasn't that much going on. Like I think, like maybe I would have expected. I think more action scenes, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, there really only were 3 big action set pieces.
Yeah, true.
The first one at the beginning at the shopping mall.
Yeah.
And then there was no Wonder Woman for about an hour plus.
Yeah.
And then she appeared again in what is that, Egypt or Cairo? Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
What's that action sequence?
Yes, this scene, the scene, yeah. So this, yeah. So not a lot of Wonder Woman, although
time skips quite quickly though. The time skips really quickly in the show though. Like they go from one place to another. Like.
Oh, that's one thing that some people were criticizing as well.
Yeah,
they zip from Egypt back to the US.
In like no time at all.
In like no time at all. So it's like, even if it's the invisible jet, it still takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said the time skip right at the end as well. Like how did it get from like July the 4th to
Christmas? Yeah.
Christmas time, yeah. It's like snowing.
Like the 6-month sort of interval.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
a
thing
good
is,
point.
they usually say like 6 months later or something, but this time it didn't do anything like that.
It's Christmas. It's like what? Yeah, that was fast.
But considering, I think it was like an additional scene that they added later.
Okay.
Because it was meant to be released like in the middle of the year.
It was meant to be released back in July of 2019, wasn't it? A year and a half ago. Yeah. And then they delayed it to Christmas of a year ago, and then
delayed it again.
So this has been delayed for a year and a half.
Yeah, more than a year.
We finally see it. Actually, one thing that I kind of maybe missed the first time around was how, because it throughout the movie, right, like I was thinking, why is Wonder Woman, she seemed like she's a bit weak, as in she couldn't even. At one point she got shot
Open the
and
lock.
she was bleeding, right?
Yes.
And then yeah,
Because I think from the moment she made that wish,
the wish, yeah,
she started losing her
Yeah.
powers.
Oh,
Yeah.
she lost the power. Yeah.
Yeah.
because I think they're saying how if you get a wish, something has to
You
be
have to
given
give
in
something
return.
up, right? So that's what she was sacrificing, was that her abilities. And,
Yeah, so yeah, that's something that I probably didn't quite pick up, but it makes sense. That
everybody has to give up something in exchange to have the wish granted.
And it makes sense that when she renounced the wish, she immediately
she got her power back.
And she could fly. So that's the moment where she learned to fly as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a bit of a Superman moment. And she was flying.
Yeah, the flying one. Yeah.
But then since she can fly, no need for the invisible jet anymore.
Yeah, so this power of flight, a bit different from how Superman flies, but still it's kind of like she's using her lasso to kind of propel her up in the air, and then she kind of like glides. So it's like kind of like what Steve was saying to her. It's so easy, just the wind and air, and riding the wind and air.
Yes.
So this I kind of like this scene actually, the flight scene, because it felt a lot like because Patty Jenkins, she was saying how she wanted to pay homage to Richard Donner's Superman movie.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of like has that sort of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I sort of felt there were some good moments in the movie. Although there were also a lot of like really random stuff happening.
And even though it was quite a long movie, I
think James is muted if you want to speak, because we can't hear James.
Turn your speaker on. Your audio.
Yeah, the flying.
Because we can't hear it.
Yeah, still can't hear you, James.
Can't hear you.
Muted.
Yeah, just unmute yourself.
I can't unmute you, so you have to.
Is the flying scene?
Yeah. So this flying scene, I thought it was a good scene. This one.
Oh, okay. I mute myself now.
Can you?
Yeah, I was saying, in the end, Wonder Woman could have made a better wish, like wish for world peace or everything go back to the same, and plus, the pilot come back.
Well, she wished for Steve to come back, and he did.
Oh yeah.
Right. But in exchange, she had to sort of give up her powers.
Yeah, but in the end, remember the Max Lord grant him another chance to wish again, so she could wish one more, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean at the very end?
At the very end, yes, he said it's a forgiving man, so he grant everyone the wish, but Wonder Woman could have another wish as well at that time.
I think everyone only could have one, wasn't it?
Oh.
Because she already had hers, and so he was giving it to everyone else, who haven't made the wish
yet. Because she renounced her wish, so she could have another one.
Well, she could have, but obviously she decided right from that point on that she's done with her wishing.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, on the plane, she was actually granted another wish.
Actually, on the plane, Barbara had another wish. That's true. Yeah.
Even though beforehand everyone could only just have one.
Yeah.
Which is why when he asked someone, he already granted that guy a wish.
Yeah.
So how does that make sense?
I think because she gave up the first wish, she said, "Oh, I don't want to be like."
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
So that was considered maybe a renunciation of the first wish.
And so she could have another one.
Yeah, so she was allowed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we didn't see that part.
Yeah, that's the only way you could have a second wish granted is if you renounce.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if it's going by like the comics, Cheetah has always been like the enemy of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the arch enemy. Yes.
the arch enemy.
Oh,
So
I don't think this followed the comics, did it? It was.
Well, I sort of felt like, I mean, they
probably
could have
don't.
done more with the character if she's gonna be the arch enemy, you know, because
Yeah.
she sort of like comes and goes, and we don't. I think the problem is that it's a bit overstuffed. They could have maybe focused on one thing and not to have both Max Lord and Cheetah all together as in the same movie.
Yep. That's why I think even though it's a 2.5-hour movie, it still could have been fleshed out more.
Yeah, I think maybe they try to put as much as they could.
Yeah. But it doesn't
yeah.
really work out because they just stuffed everything together and it's just a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Because I thought what they could have done is maybe introduce Cheetah slowly and maybe make her the big bad in the next one, rather than kind of like having to give equal time to both. Yeah.
But at least it's not as stuffed as the Batman v Superman thing.
Oh yeah, well.
That one was even more stuffed and it had an even shorter movie.
I thought when Wonder Woman said, "I'm very sorry," I thought she was going to kill the cheetah, but she survived. Yeah.
Oh, she said, "I'm sorry." Oh yeah. She
so
just
sorry.
said, "Oh, she's gonna electrocute her."
Yeah.
It was just to electrocute her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this girl, yeah, this one. She lost her good heart, is it? What did she lose?
Yeah, her warmth, her joy.
Oh yeah. So she gave that up.
Yeah.
So that's what
Oh.
she had to give up.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is they didn't really know what they're giving up until it happens.
Yeah, that's right. And by then it's a bit too late. And for her, it's pretty tragic.
Yeah.
Which is why when it came to Max Lord one, he sort of had the advantage of not only granting the wish, but he actually had control of what he takes.
Well, that's because he became the stone.
Yeah.
But in the end, he's about to lose his son, right? Because this is what he calls him most, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing that snapped him back.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty corny scene, to be honest, though. Like that whole ending scene.
Yeah, it's a bit corny.
With the lasso wrapped around him, and I mean, how does it even work to broadcast all that using 80s technology?
But it has something to do. Remember the television evangelist? He said, "Oh, instead of everyone pray this, let's say wish for that." It's kind of a parallel to.
Maybe I thought actually they were trying to parody Donald Trump a bit because he's a failed businessman and with delusions of grandeur and eventually even became the president. He's a TV personality as well, so I think there's a bit of Trumpist thing in there.
There's so many people like that, not just Trump.
Yeah, but actually, when I read some article, they actually said, it was kind of subtly intended as well. Yeah,
like Trump. Yeah.
Yeah,
This guy's Mandalorian, right? This guy.
Yes, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, he plays Mandalorian.
Yeah, we don't see him much in Mandalorian until he takes off his helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Which is interesting because this year, Pedro Pascal has both played. Actually, he's played 3 different parts. He's played a hero, he's played an anti-hero, and he has played a villain.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty popular year for Pedro.
Yeah.
Yeah. The anti-hero is the Mandalorian, the villain is this one.
Yes.
And there's actually a new show with him now out as well, which he plays a hero.
Okay.
Oh, right. A hero.
Yeah.
So a TV series, you mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I forgot the name of the show. I think it's like
Getting a lot of work.
New Heroes or something. Because it's effectively the sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Just try to find the name of that show.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, it's called We Can Be Heroes.
Oh, we can be heroes. So he's a hero, I guess.
Yep, he is a hero in this, and apparently the kids have to be the new heroes because the heroes fell. But Pedro Pascal is one of those heroes.
So he's the older hero, and then the kids have to be the heroes or something. Yeah, we'll see.
It's kind of interesting. It's like it's his year.
It's the year of Pedro, yeah. Mandalorian, big, you know. And then this one, I mean, this one is sort of like pretty cheesy villain, which I guess is intended, right? They're going for a bit of cheesy feel, 80s vibe. Everything's big. Even had a bit of, I think it even had a bit of Indiana Jones vibe, especially in that scene in Cairo, where Chris Pine was on top of the trucks, fighting bad guys, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's meant to kind of evoke that.
Yeah, evoke 80s.
80s.
The movies of the 80s. And especially Richard Donner's Superman as well.
Superman?
Yeah, so Patty Jenkins, the director, said one of the inspirations was to evoke the Superman movies, Christopher Reeve.
And what are you doing, Jeff?
I want another Superman movie. I hope Henry Cavill comes back as Superman and we get another.
Well, we'll get to see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that should be coming.
Did they fix the mustache though? Did they fix the mustache?
Well, they're not gonna. Zack Snyder's not gonna use any of the Joss Whedon reshoots. So,
yep.
He'll have his own cut. So
this is the cut that he's always wanted it to be. So
maybe they haven't got rid of the mustache.
Yeah, this is before all that fiasco happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that animated mustache was looked horrible.
Yeah, like what
I mean,
that Superman's never had a mustache.
I mean,
what?
They animated him without a mustache because effectively he was not allowed to shave it during his.
But then he had to do Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So he had to have the mustache.
Yeah. So that mustache was real.
Yeah.
And in Justice League, they had to animate it out.
That's right. Oh. So, man.
So that
no
mustache Superman looked horrible.
That's right.
That animated nothingness.
Yeah.
But there was meant to be a mustache.
So here's a few Easter eggs. Okay. Let's see if there's anything we miss. Oh, Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Obvious reference to Diana's backstory in the Amazon Olympics. Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
So I guess
oh yeah, it does look a bit like the Olympics, the buildings, yeah.
And you talking about the beginning scene, right? I mean, what's the whole point of that? Like,
I was thinking that as well. It's
I think it's mainly for the theme of truth. That comes true because remember how
she was trying to take a shortcut.
She was trying to take a shortcut, and then she was not allowed to,
Oh yeah, it was had a parallel to the story. So it's about the truth. So you wish for something, but it's not something you deserve. So they caught you.
So,
yeah. So I think that's the whole point of that first scene, and I guess it kind of like goes well with the whole Wonder Woman character. She's got a lesser of truth anyway. So and she's always known as like the spirit of truth.
What else?
Etta Candy. So we saw a photo.
That one we know because that was from the previous movie.
But I mean, it's kind of like miss and like blink and you miss moments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this?
This was in the first movie.
When she was the secretary.
Yeah, she was the secretary.
Oh.
She was helping that bunch of them. And she was part of the crew.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor's watch as well. Blink and you miss it.
Not really, since they did show that several times.
Actually, they showed that quite a lot. I don't think you miss it. Like, it was.
Oh, actually, no. Yeah, you're right. It was quite a lot, not just.
Yeah, they've actually went and looked at it several times.
Yeah.
The watch.
I guess
passed
maybe we might not have realized that it's the same watch.
Did he
Of
pass
course
the
it's the
watch
same
onto
watch. He
onto
kept
her?
it.
Did he pass the watch onto
Steve's
her?
watch from the first film as a memento following his death.
You know that scene when Diana was dining alone outside a restaurant?
Yeah.
I think when the waiter took the cutlery back, that is so bad. But in real life, it happens a lot. If you go out and eat by yourself, sometimes the waitress took your cutlery away.
Oh yeah, the second person's cutlery. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I think that scene is just trying to emphasize her loneliness and how she still hasn't got over Steve, right? Because then immediately after that, she looked up at the sky, at the plane, and trying to think of, oh, could that be Steve? Because Steve is the pilot, right?
Yeah.
So.
But how could Steve fly the modern air jet? I don't know. I learned so quickly.
That's a good observation. Yeah, that's like a plot hole.
Effectively, the one that he flew wasn't really new, but it's also newer than the time that he came from there.
Because the one that he flew was back in 1918 or something.
A vintage plane, though. The one that they took, it was actually a vintage plane.
That is still a vintage plane, but it's still after the time of.
Yeah, but it is after his era.
Because they were at the Smithsonian.
Yeah, they wouldn't have gone supersonic by that time.
Yeah, that's another plot hole, but anyway. Dreamstone. So Dreamstone was actually introduced back in 1963 Justice League comic book.
Oh.
Yeah, believe it or not, it has been a part of DC lore since 1960s. Now Simon Stagg, doesn't do anything really.
Yeah, he doesn't really do much.
Just like wanting his money back or something.
Yeah, but they didn't really do much with his character. Like, he didn't do anything particularly villainous, even though he was, I guess, meant to be a DC villain.
Yeah, but considering in some of the DC comics, Stagg Enterprises has been in many of them.
That's what?
The actual Stagg Enterprises has been in many DC comics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the name Stagg, yeah.
So maybe they just use the name Stagg Enterprise.
Yeah, I think it's more just a name. Just name dropping, yeah. Yeah, you're right. So he often appears. He actually does appear. But anyway.
Yeah, several times over.
Cheetah's foreshadow. So he uses the Dreamstone to turn into an apex predator called Cheetah. But before that happens, there's a verbal reference of things to come. Ah, see? Animal print high heels. So that's
we kind of already knew that she was going to be Cheetah.
Yeah. Just a foreshadowing. Invisible Jet. Introduced way back in 1942.
Yep.
That's interesting.
But I thought this was pretty stupid. This whole clocking spell. I mean, a spell really?
Yeah.
It's a bit strange.
Because I think in the comics, it's not a spell.
Yeah,
you turn invisible by itself. Yeah.
I thought it was just a function of the thing.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But who knows why they just do that. Oh, Black Adam. Okay. So mention is made of a country of Bialya.
Okay.
It's a fictional country in the Middle East and houses a strategic military base where Black Adam, which you'll see played by The Rock.
Yeah, so maybe they like calling that out because Black Adam has been announced recently.
That's right. Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. So that's.
I want to see that. Yeah, I don't know.
It over not.
Yet,
Golden armor.
This was.
So it's a generational relic. So this was what Asteria was wearing.
Yeah.
She was worn by Asteria and several other Olympians.
Oh, she was the one that defended against all the men attacking them.
Yes.
Saved them, yeah. Oh.
And it was first introduced in the. So I've got this comic book, Kingdom Come, 1996.
Yeah.
And yeah, lastly we got Asteria. We talked about her already.
Oh yeah.
If you're a younger fan, you may not know who she is, but she's actually Lynda Carter, the actress who played Wonder Woman in the 70s TV show.
Yep. Well, there was meant to be a newer TV show as well, but that kind of failed badly.
The new TV
Failed before
show
the first episode.
starring that Bobby, right, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You know, Lynda Carter was Miss USA at that time.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or either one of the Miss Universe. Yeah, she was pretty, in the pageant, high rank.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh.
And well, Gal Gadot was also like, I think she
was a
won,
Miss something.
she won Miss Israel or something. So she also won like a beauty pageant herself. So yeah.
But she has a South American accent, right?
Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian Pilicki was.
Oh, this is the failed Wonder Woman pilot that Jono was talking about.
Is it
it never got past the pilot.
Yeah.
So what happened with the pilot? Like,
well, never got past it.
Okay.
So it was filmed. The pilot itself was never aired.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So they filmed it, but I guess the executives were saying they didn't like it or something.
Well, she said she was devastated that it didn't go ahead. And she said,
doesn't look that good though.
Yeah, well, she says she's glad somebody else gets to do it, and she says she's glad that Gal Gadot is rocking it.
Yeah.
Well, she did play a good part in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there.
Yeah, so she moved on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, so this could have been a series.
The costume is bad.
It could have been a series.
I thought she looked like a Transformers style in that photo.
Maybe that's why they didn't go ahead. Who knows? But yeah.
But no one saw the pilot anyway, so.
As I said, I think I have the pilot somewhere. If
Really?
you're interested, we could maybe watch it sometime.
Give some critique.
Yeah, why it failed so badly.
Yeah, since no one has seen it, if you just post it up, I think everyone will want to see it. Because the lost.
Seriously, you mean no one could find it? Anyway.
They were even talking about it during the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel. A part of it is why are we talking about the Wonder Woman pilot? Because they're meant to be talking about Marvel, and they're talking about DC Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's. Yeah, I guess overall I thought it was okay. I mean, I really like the hopeful, bright feel of it. I mean, it's amazing to think that DC has come so far, right? They were dark and gloomy, all dark and stuff.
Like the colors of this is very bright, sort of very 80s.
And now, yeah. So how far they've gone.
Yeah, it's.
Yep. Considering they also had Shazam, which is more of an upbeat sort of movie.
Yes. So they are moving in that direction.
Yeah.
More going away from the whole doom and gloom feel.
Although who knows with that, the Batman film, because the one that's Pattinson is supposed to be in, which I don't know.
The Batman.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening because he got sick. So because he got COVID and now I don't know.
He got COVID.
Yeah, he got COVID, and then I guess they had to stop the filming because he has to recover. So yeah.
It was in London. Yeah, he was filming in London.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I think that's coming. Is it next year or the year after? I can't remember. But yeah,
I think
sometime.
I guess because but I don't know about release date.
I think that's why it's pretty exciting because it's this whole multiverse concept. You can have a dark movie like Batman, and you can have Wonder Woman existing in a different Earth, and they can still
considering DC's universe has been the most messed up still.
Is Aquaman DC as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the DC's universe, it's still quite a bit of a mess, and a lot of it is still kind of inconsistent.
Yeah, but then they can explain all that away by saying it's all multiverse. Right?
It still doesn't really help too much.
So they can say, hey, the whole Zack Snyder thing probably takes place in its own little Earth.
Yeah.
And then you can have the TV, because there was actually a moment where you see TV Flash and movie Flash kind of meet.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I wonder if they're going ahead still with the Flash standalone movie.
Yeah. I think they are.
Effectively, I think they will have to because of the Flashpoint storyline.
Yes. So they might use the Flashpoint to do a
reset, reboot.
Yeah.
Because it's already super screwed up anyway.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's in a way not like Marvel, since Marvel actually has the Marvel Studios, so they could control the whole storyline overall. But DC, they kept so many different directors and stuff, and a lot of studios which they partner with, and I think that's essentially why it tends to get messed up a lot.
Yeah, but I think that's why
because they don't have like a central studio.
That's right, but at the same time, I think a lot of directors feel there's more creative freedom in doing it that way. Because if you're doing a Marvel show, then it has to conform to a certain style, and there's already this overarching kind of direction. So yeah, I think it's good that DC is doing things their way and not trying to copy Marvel, because then you'll just be
Yeah.
Well, considering they did actually try to.
Well, they tried, but they failed.
Yeah, with Joss Whedon.
Yeah, that's why it's the wrong direction for them to take. I think to try and.
Yeah.
I mean, Joss Whedon did so well in Avengers.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't have control of the DC one, so of course Zack Snyder's version would be better than Joss Whedon's version of Justice League.
You remember Chris Pine?
Oh yes, Chris Pine. I always remember him for Captain Kirk.
For Star Trek.
Star Trek, right? Yeah.
But he was also starring in Into the Woods, the musical.
Yeah. He did that. No. But I think Star Trek was his breakout role. In film, movies.
Yeah. Oh.
And then that's how he became pretty famous.
Yep. But effectively, a new Star Trek movie has been effectively squashed.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk of Quentin Tarantino wanting to do a Star Trek, and then I don't think it's gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, the third Star Trek movie didn't do so well, so effectively the whole idea of a new one has been just completely canned.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm okay with that, because I mean, there's a lot of Star Trek on TV these days.
There's still Picard, with
Picard,
Stewart.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just gonna go with that for now.
Yeah, and I do think
they
Star
do
Trek,
have Star Trek: The Lower Decks as well.
The animated show as well, yeah.
And Star Trek Discovery.
So I think Star Trek's true home has always been TV anyway. So yeah, it's not such a bad thing.
Which one's on TV?
No, I mean I'm just saying Star Trek's true home is always TV. That's where I think Star Trek is best at.
Have you seen the original series remastered?
Yeah, I've got the full 3-season Blu-ray set.
Even though it's remastered, the plot was so. You look at those rocket-like styrofoam, it's just so laughable.
Yeah. But you have to remember it was the 60s.
They didn't have any better kind of way.
Yeah, it's still fun to see it as well too. I mean, the stories still hold up, even though the props are pretty.
Yeah, the acting is really good, and the philosophy is really deep. Actually, story. Have a lot of.
Well, that's what Star Trek. That's why I say Star Trek is best on TV because they get to do those kinds of shows.
And plus, they could flesh out the story far more than a movie.
Like a 2-hour movie, yeah. So that's the thing. That's the problem with the Star Trek movies, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. They're trying to do a lot of action stuff, which is really not what Star Trek has traditionally been about. It's more. It's always been more about ideas and, as James said, right, philosophical stuff. So that's hard to do in a movie because people expect action and stuff. So I think maybe it's not a bad thing to just have Star Trek on TV.
Yep. But overall, what would you give the movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 days since I've seen it. I think initially I came away with it. It's like maybe a 7.5. I might lower it down to 7 now because thinking about it, I can see a lot of plot holes. I mean, I still like it just because it's got that really bright, hopeful feel to it, which I like. Even though I do feel that it's corny and cheesy as well.
Yeah. How come the boy is Asian and the father is not?
Yeah, that's another plot hole. I mean, maybe he's got an Asian mom.
Asian mother, maybe.
But
we never see the mother.
We never see it.
Yeah.
I think that was a bit of a missed thing.
Yeah.
They could have added it to make a bit of sense.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal.
Really? Mando?
Mandalorian and
Mando and Max.
And Max Lord, yeah.
Max Lord.
Oh, and the other one is the hero version.
Is that the hero? The one on the left?
Yeah.
The
We Can't Be Heroes one.
Oh.
3 movies.
Yeah.
3 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 movies, 1 TV show.
Yes, Pedro Pascal. His star is rising.
So the one on the left is what? Which movie is that?
No, it's the TV show that we were talking about. Some hero.
The one on the left is a movie called We Can't Be Heroes.
We Can Be Heroes.
We Can Be Heroes. Oh.
This is here, yes. 2 movies and a TV show.
Yeah, but they did a good job with all those 70s, 80s costumes and set.
Yeah, it's all bright and colorful.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
You can see from my background. Yeah, they're really going for it. The color.
They've really got the color palette. It's very 80s.
So I'll give it a 7. Is Jono still sticking with your 5?
Yep, I'm still sticking with 5.
Wow.
What did you what did you like? And what did you hate?
I like how the effects they used. And they have seen that they are using more interesting film styles.
Okay.
But I guess the film style is more of the older vibe as well, which is good.
It is. I think the 80s vibe. They're definitely going for the 80s
it's set
feel.
in the 80s. It makes sense to do it as a more 80s vibe and 80s feel.
Kind of like big, maybe a bit overly dramatic. Yeah.
The story was a bit of a hit and miss. It was a bit messy.
Yeah.
It's pretty messy.
I still say that they could have done more with it, but then it would have been an even longer movie.
Yeah, I think they should have maybe cut things down, as I said, right? Maybe focus on Max and then introduce Barbara, but maybe have her play the bigger role in the next one.
Yeah, it's possible that they'll give her more of a focus maybe in the next one.
But who knows? At the end of this movie, she's like just sitting on the cliff on the mountain.
The flow of it was also a bit weird.
The flow, I mean, it feels pretty slow in the first hour.
Yeah, it felt slow, and then at the end they start rushing here, there, and everywhere, super quickly. What the heck is going on?
Sort of pack the action more towards the end rather than sort of.
Yep, and the big massive time skips are at the end as well, which Really?
It just flew, flew from one spot to another.
So effectively, how it's laid out, it's not really consistent.
Oh, what's the end when Max lost that in the circle of light? What is that?
It was supposed to be the device to let him broadcast to all over the world. It doesn't really explain how. It's just saying this is how.
It looked like a flying saucer. You know, like
Yeah.
it was a bit strange.
Yeah.
The device itself looked strange.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen strange. So.
And they don't really explain it anyway. But
that's one of the things I think that was sort of...
And a lot of questions which are like kind of unanswered.
Yeah. So okay.
I'd still give it a 5.
5. Fair enough. I think it's
like,
sitting
will Max
around.
Lord go to jail or something? He's done so many bad things.
Exactly, and it's like he's just reunited with his son. We'll forget
he just
about
gets
him.
away with it. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know. Maybe afterward they'll catch you. You know.
Yeah, but it just feels like they're just gonna forget him. That's it, done.
This sort of cohesion that the first movie had. The first movie I think was much better.
Yeah, more focus for sure.
Story was more focused.
Yeah, the first one was definitely a lot better.
Yeah.
Considering the score, it's gone down by quite a lot. It's now only 63% on Rotten Tomatoes now. I think it was like 90 when it first came out, and then the bad reviews just started to pop up.
But effectively, if I reviewed it and they gave it a 5, I think that my review would be like just what I think of that movie.
I think that scene when Wonder Woman latched on the rocket to fly over to save the children, that was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but I think it was trying to showcase that she's lost her powers.
Oh, okay.
Like that she's slowly losing her powers. Yeah, that she couldn't even grab hold of the vessel, and she had to be saved by Steve Trevor.
Okay.
Hey, at the end, they didn't become boyfriend girlfriend.
I think there might have been some kind of hint, but no, I think
there might have been a hint, but then that's also another time skip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They didn't really develop that further, so.
but to be honest, the whole like Steve getting into this dude's body and then
that didn't make sense even. Like why?
Yeah, and some people were like, it's a bit gross. But they didn't even address that.
Yeah, they didn't really address that.
Yeah, some people are saying, why can't Steve just come back as Steve? I mean, if that's the Dreamstone, surely he can just be himself.
Yeah.
True. Because Wonder Woman doesn't see Chris Pine. He sees this guy.
No, he sees this guy.
Yeah. We see it because they show it to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Has he starred in any other movies? This guy?
I have no idea who this guy is.
No idea who that guy is.
Yeah, me too. Oh, okay.
So what would Jeff give this movie out of 10?
Oh, look, I don't know. I really liked it in some ways.
Yeah.
Because it kind of it's sidetracked from all the action scenes, but it's got a bit of the old-fashioned kind of 80s. It's got a bit of romance.
Yeah, the old-fashioned style. Yeah.
Bit of romance as well.
It's more of a rom-com, to be honest, at times. It's more of a rom-com with some superhero elements.
Some rom-com moments.
Bit of rom-com, bit of parent-child as well. So that was kind of...
They're trying to stuff everything in. That's the problem, I think.
That's actually another interesting point. He has played a father in all 3 of his plays this year.
Huh?
Oh, you mean... Oh, Pascal, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has played a father in We Can Be Heroes because the kids become their own heroes. He's sort of a father figure to Mando. I mean, Mando is a father figure to Grogu.
Ah, yes. And now he's a father to Alistair.
3 parts as a father.
Oh, right.
Or 3 different roles.
3 different sorts of fathers. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 different sorts of fathers. Wow.
Yeah. He's getting the hang of it. being a dad.
Yeah, even in Game of Thrones, I think he played the father as well in that one.
Oh, he did, eh? He was
Yeah.
what's his name?
Over on Martell or something.
Martell, yeah.
I have not seen him play in Game of Thrones because I haven't watched that show.
Okay.
He played a father in that one too.
Yeah. So then maybe that's his role. He's just a father.
Oh no, he's stereotype.
That's his niche. He's the dad role.
Yeah, it seems so.
Oh,
Wow.
Typecast, father. What about Steph? Score out of 10.
I guess I don't know, maybe 6.5. I think it's
Oh,
not
really?
as good as the first one. So
Yeah.
I just think
Yeah, the first one was actually
more. I think on this one.
More action, yeah. First one. For sure.
First one was focused.
Yeah.
And
Right.
hopefully the next. I think the next one has been announced.
Yep.
Patty
There is
Jenkins
going
is
to be a
back.
third one.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully
I
that will
think they would like it to be set in modern day now because it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise it doesn't make sense to keep going back to the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Modern day. Yeah.
Modern day.
Yeah, because this Wonder Woman wasn't really effectively a sequel.
Yeah, it's more like an in-between kind of movie.
Oh.
Because it's set also before the Justice League movie.
Well, yeah, that's right. Because in the
They
first
said
Wonder Woman movie,
before
flashback.
Batman v Superman as well. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what
Four
about
times.
the last one, Batman versus Superman? So Wonder Woman was like in modern day time.
Yeah, that was where she first appeared, and then after Batman vs Superman, in the first Wonder Woman movie, we saw her flashback.
Yeah.
She had this photograph, and then she kind of like was remembering stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
at the end of the Wonder Woman movie, as she was back into the modern times, she actually flew at the end.
She did fly. Yeah. So I think this movie shows how she learned to fly. So maybe this is, the connective kind of like thread.
What
Like
about the invisible plane in the original TV series?
It was just invisible.
Wonder Woman always fly an invisible plane.
Yeah. But it wasn't invisible because of some spell. It was just the plane itself was invisible.
Yeah. But in the cartoon, it showed that it's invisible, but you can still see Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I know.
That was the interesting part.
Yeah.
It's like so flying on the outside.
Then it kind of defeats the purpose of the plane. I mean, people can still see.
Yeah. And it looks really awkward.
Yeah.
Like, really? She's just sitting there going like this in the sky.
All right. So I guess James is giving it a
6.5.
Same score as Steph.
Yeah. I mean the story is a bit slow. There's some good messages in it, but just try to blend in everything, and sometimes it's very slow. Sometimes at the end it's very fast.
It was a little jumbled, and that was...
The message was a bit corny, I think.
The message is a message of truth. Truth is more important or something.
Yeah.
Well, she has a lesson of truth, as I said, right? Yeah. So,
yeah.
So that part was kind of corny, I think, that's the message.
I wish it could be a bit deeper, so actually can cause people a tear or two. But it was corny, but it's not right up to that deep level.
Yeah.
It didn't really sound deep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't that clear to me on what the message was.
At the end when the Mascot has his flashback about his childhood growing up, it's a bit like the Joker and all these bad early childhood influences.
Oh yeah, and he was bullied, and so that's what drove him to be like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll just show this thing and to finish off. This just came just today.
Okay.
They've actually already thought of
number 4.
4.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
because the third is being fast tracked by
I got it in the
WB.
work, yeah.
Okay.
So
By the
yeah.
way, I think I'd give it up to Gal Gadot during this movie because, from what I have heard, she was actually pregnant when she was filming
Oh, in
Wow.
this movie. Wow.
1982.
Wow.
You can't even tell.
Yeah. You can't tell because they probably used a lot of additional scenes, which was already done. But she was pregnant for a bunch of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for like half the movie, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
maybe they just CGI her out or use a double.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Let's see this thing.
so I think pretty much just about women stepping in as women. That's the kind of story she wants to tell. I mean, it's a little bit heavy-handed in this movie, as you could see. When Barbara was getting bullied, and then she became stronger, and she then kicked that guy.
Yeah.
Revenge.
Totally.
It's kind of like me too. See what I can do now.
But I think with that, they kind of did in a way that, even though she was like that beforehand, the complete switch
Yeah, the switch
was massive.
Because you think it's gradual or too sudden?
Yeah,
It's
but
a
this
little
one
bit.
was like a big change. Like her personality was just not what it was.
Yeah. But I guess I don't know. I guess plot wise it sort of made sense because that was the price that she paid.
Yeah.
But then I say plot wise, it makes it into the movie.
But it's also very realistic because people who adopt power and status very often they will become arrogant and proud and
Yeah.
Hopefully, but not in this humongous change.
Like sudden, very
I
very
think
sharp.
it's sudden though. Like for example, like with Wonder Woman, her powers sort of diminished slowly. Like it wasn't like a sudden, like it didn't just get sucked out of her. Like there was like a slow sort of progression. Whereas like with Barbara, it was like too sudden. I think. Yeah.
I think
that was another thing that didn't really work.
Yep.
Yeah, it was very sudden. Yeah.
I think with this one they get to like the absolute extremes.
Yeah.
Like this is the most extreme these guys can go.
Yeah.
Because realistically, even though it can possibly happen, it is not to that extreme.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what they have to do in a movie. If this were a TV show, yes, you could show a gradual progression, episode by episode. But that's a problem, right? Of doing it in a 2.5-hour movie. Even though it's 2.5 hours, still.
Yeah.
Considering that, they actually did flesh out like Lex Luthor in the Smallville show. Because he was like so good like right at the beginning, but then only by like season 6 was he like the main villain.
Very, very gradual, hey?
Yeah, that was a massive, humongous, long, gradual progression.
Remember Catwoman, the movie with Batman, and she was a nice secretary or something, assistant, right? And then after she fell off the building, got pushed off by her boss, she became Catwoman.
Oh, that's the Michelle Pfeiffer one. Yeah.
Catwoman,
yeah.
And then she was quite mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting that I just saw this because Pedro Pascal was actually involved in that failed pilot.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was he meant to play in
that? He portrayed somebody called Ed. I don't know who that is.
I have no idea.
A different character.
Wow.
So he said he would have been Diana's liaison to the police department. So he would have been a good guy, but then in this movie, he plays a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said that it didn't get picked up, but then he they picked him to play the bad guy in this movie anyway. So
That's good.
but that's just kind of interesting.
Yep. So maybe we could actually try to find that pilot episode.
I'll see if I can find it.
It's interesting to see it and see how different it is, you know, to what might have been.
Yeah.
And we can do an improved version of it.
Well, at least when that failed, they still went on with like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So
Well,
ended
she
well.
jumped ship to Marvel. Yeah.
Well, a bunch of them did. Like during the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel, parts of the whole panel was them talking about Wonder Woman pilots.
Yeah.
So a bunch of them actually did work with that one. And one of the actors in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was also an actress in DC Supergirl as well.
Ah.
So she did play both Marvel and DC effectively at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is what Jono was saying. Pedro Pascal played three fathers. One a hero, a villain, and an anti-hero. Interesting. So incredible acting range.
Yeah,
and then,
considering that a lot of movies haven't been released this year, he's probably the big name right now.
And Game of Thrones, Oberon Martell, the father of the Sands. Oh, okay. The three girls.
3 girls,
Yep. Interesting.
Cool.
I think
I'm waiting for the Snyder Cut. I want to see the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, it should be coming in March. I think that's what the latest that they've announced.
And it's coming in parts as well.
It's coming in four parts, I think.
4 parts, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but each one being about I think they said an hour and an hour and a half each.
I think that's a good idea because then you get to stretch it out over 4 weeks. Otherwise, it'll be a massive 4-hour movie.
Yeah. we probably can't sit that long.
Yeah.
So this article says it's unintentionally perfect because the last scene of the movie is Christmas. And we we're just it's released on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's right.
Although as Jono says, there's a huge time jump from July to
get to Christmas so quickly.
Yeah, it jumped to Christmas super quickly, which was really random.
Because it was summertime, wasn't it? When they first the movie, most of the time was summertime.
Yeah, I mean it was originally meant to be released during the summer in the US. So actually, one thing to mention is that the young Diana actress, she's actually pretty good because she did all of her own stunts.
The
baby, pretty amazing.
The young Superwoman girl.
The young Wonder Woman, yeah.
Oh.
So she did, yeah. I thought she would kind of appear again later in the movie, but that's only in the beginning.
Yeah, they could have used it more. Could have been a good story.
You know the armor, right? Yeah, it got wrecked at the end, right? And she threw it away, did she?
Yeah. Yeah, the armor. What happened to the armor at the end? Yeah, it got wrecked.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah.
But this is
it was too easily wrecked, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, so this is where it first appeared in the comics, Kingdom Come, 1996 comic book.
Oh. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it got wrecked.
That's the watch.
Oh, that's a Asteria, yeah.
Lynda Carter.
Lynda.
Oh, hang on. They didn't do the Wonder Woman spin in the 80s on TV. She was spin around and changed from normal clothes to Wonder Woman outfits.
But she's not supposed to be Wonder Woman. She's supposed to be Asteria. so she doesn't
But
spin, I guess.
for Gal Gadot as well, she didn't spin.
No, I think there would have been two 70s.
That would have been like too corny.
Yeah. Although it is an 80s vibe, so maybe she could have spun or something, but
Yeah. Maybe they decided again.
Effectively, that's the same idea as like Superman going into a telephone booth to change.
yeah.
Yeah.
But interestingly, remember in the scene in Cairo when they were in the car, how did she suddenly change to Wonder Woman? Like, just like that. In
Maybe
the car.
she
In
already
the
had it
car.
under her normal clothes.
Maybe it's tucked. This costume is tucked in some way. I have no idea.
Good question.
Yeah.
Yep.
But same as Superman, right? It's always got the costume underneath.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think Steph, is correct. So Kristen Wiig could potentially return. So the director says she may return in the third one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess it would make sense because we don't know what happened at the end. Like, you know.
Yeah, because she became the Cheetah and then
Did she renounce her wish though, the Cheetah?
The thing is, we don't see her renounce it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that.
Maybe she only renounced one of them. She kept the other one, the powerful one, but renounced the Cheetah one. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to her. Like really, like in the end, because she it looks like she transformed back into what she normally looks like, but we don't know if she actually did renounce her wish because it's
not certain.
Is it Ronald Reagan?
Played by actor Stuart Milligan. So playing Ronald Reagan.
Oh, it was Ronald Reagan. Oh yeah.
What?
80s.
So that's who he was supposed
Wonder
to be.
Woman. Oh.
Yeah.
President at the time.
Former President Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He was an actor too, wasn't he? Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He himself was an actor.
So an actor playing it.
He was himself an actor.
Well, it seems like a lot of different people can be presidents anyway.
Yeah.
Including Donald Trump. So
Who
this
isn't
is
even a politician.
So this is Jeff's question. It's Christopher Polaha.
Oh, that guy.
I have no idea who he plays that.
No idea who it is.
Well, he says it's his biggest movie yet. So he's mainly known just for TV. Maybe bit parts. Who knows?
It looks a bit like the Friends guy.
Or maybe small parts because it's.
Maybe.
I've never heard of him. Like, I've never.
I have not heard of him.
Yeah.
What's that in the comic that Wonder Woman could use her tiara as a boomerang?
Yep, she did use it.
Yeah. But Thanos doesn't have that. Yeah.
Yep, but she did try her tiara.
In the comic books. Yeah.
They're in the movie, this movie as well.
Yeah, she did at the scene where in the White House. Yeah.
Yeah. But I never seen that before. So.
Yeah, this scene where she was. Yeah.
And also right at the beginning.
Oh.
At the beginning.
With those robbers.
Yeah, in the mall.
In the mall.
Yeah.
So apparently, the movie flopped in China because the Chinese wanted more action.
Yeah, that's really one of the things that.
But how long is the lasso? It seems to be infinity long, right? Just can reach the plane so far away.
It looks like it can stretch.
I think it stretches as long as she wants to stretch it. I think.
Yep, that's something that we'll probably have to mention somehow.
So there could be a crossover because there was that reference to Black Adam. So possibly
interesting.
We could see her with The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock.
I think that would be a really cool crossover. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When is that being released, Black Adam? Do you know? Like...
No. It won't be for a while.
For a while.
there was like that teaser trailer.
Yeah, there was a teaser, but that was an animated teaser.
Yeah, there was a teaser
Was it-
trailer during the DC fandom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no actual live action. trailer.
No, yeah, not. But apparently, it's a movie that The Rock has been wanting to do for a long time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Really cool. Are we done? I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
We've spoken for an hour.
It's already midnight, so I think we should probably call
I
the night. Yeah.
so I've recorded this chat. I'll probably
Really?
Okay. Cool.
yeah. So we normally do these sorts of discussions
Okay.
after like movies or series or
Okay.
Yep.
I expect
Where
it
we
to be
do
podcasted tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe the next movie or the next series. Yeah.
yeah.
So when we have another thing to watch together.
Yeah. The next
Well,
one.
we might do Snyder Cut over 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Snyder Cut. Okay.
Definitely do that.
That's an idea.
Or 4 or 5, whatever it is, 4 or 5. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right then.
All right.
We're getting
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Okay. Good night.
Have a good new year. Yeah. Have a good
Thanks
new
for
year.
organizing.
Have a good
Yeah.
new year.
See you,
then.
Steph.
See you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Good
Yep.
night.
Good night.